Hey guys, today we're pulling these sway bars off this truck, and I'm going to be going down to Oklahoma tomorrow to get these things redone. We're going to beef them up, box them in, and then we're going to adjust these because the nuts were touching the side of the sway bar, and that's why it tweaked over. So we're going to pull these off real quick. Well guys, you see what happened here was our links that go up to our arms, they weren't extended enough in the bottom, and the nut here, you can see where it was, see it got caught against the side of the arm in here, so when it bound up and it was articulating, it actually creased this bar and then started bending it. The bar started to bend just because we had these things just slightly too long or too short, so that the sway bar came up and actually hit the bottom of the shock and the shock mount. So that's what actually started to buckle these in. We had to put a GoPro underneath to see what actually was happening, which we'll upload that video fixed. So we tweaked them because we didn't have them adjusted 100% right. They would max out against the shock towers. Right there, you can see some marks before the limit straps got tight. So we're gonna go and box these up to make sure that they're a little stronger. And we're gonna come back and we're gonna extend these heim joints down a little further to give everything a little bit more clearance. So I'm guessing a lot of you are wondering why we have the sway bar mounted to the axle instead of up there. Well, because of our hydraulic suspension, we have what are two stiff arms up there that act as part of the frame of the truck that gets manipulated with hydraulic cylinders. And these bars here are what go to those stiff arms, what would be the frame, and then down to our sway bar that's mounted to the axle. The sway bar needs to be in the same vicinity as the coilovers or any kind of suspension that you may have. If the sway bar was up there, we would have to have it tied into the stiff arms, which they act independently in case you ever lose a hydraulic line. So the best spot for this bar ended up being on the axle. So we can definitely thank Devin for coming up with that. That was a pretty ingenious invention. Got the sway bars boxed up. Now it's time to put them in the truck. So when I went to go reinstall the sway bars, I had to lift the truck up to give some clearance between the 4-link bars and the axle to get the sway bar back on the axle housing. When I did that, I lifted both the front and rear at the same time, and it listed hard to the one side. So after that, we had to lift up just the rear and then just the front and reinstall them. Okay guys, we've got the rear sway bar in here, and you can tell that we have a different angle on the back side, and that's to allow, when this is up in the air, this is no longer going to hit the shock or the shock mount. We also extended the bars down slightly to give the nut more clearance when it articulates side to side. That's what caused the twisting last time. You could actually see the nut is gouged right there. So now time to put in the front. Having a problem getting this nut unlocked here. The one on top's unlocked in the bottom. I might have to pin it in the arm. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Let's see. I need a hammer. Okay, so now this is adjustable. Now I need pretty dang close. Okay. Now we just gotta straighten the sway bar in the truck and tighten those. There you have it. Fixed. Okay, as you guys saw, we lifted the truck up in the air. this truck moves so much that we have to actually move back and forth to help scoot the tires together because they are locked together from the transfer case technically. So we actually are sliding the tires closer together on the ground. If you want to take a look, the sway bars no longer anywhere near the shock towers. And they're straight as new.